Sometimes the jobs you dislike end up teaching you the most about yourself. In high school, I worked two part time jobs, not because I was trying to get ahead, mainly just because I couldn't legally work full time. One was at an ice cream shop, and the other was at a small tech company. Both were pretty local, so it wasn't like anything super crazy or time consuming. But balancing both of these jobs meant I had long days, limited free time, and was constantly feeling like I was just being stretched too thin. I would go from working at the tech shop in the morning to then going and working at the ice cream shop at night, going to sleep, and doing it all over the next day. And there were some days where I wasn't working at the shop or I wasn't working at the ice cream parlor, but you get the idea. The first thing that working two jobs taught me was how to communicate in a real world setting and establishing that foundation on communication. So when I went in to apply for the ice cream parlor, I said, "Hey, I'm working at a first job already and I'm just trying to make a little extra money." And thankfully, they were like, "Yeah, that'll be totally fine." A lot of the kids here actually work two jobs or something or go to school or whatever. So that was something that they were used to and that they understood how to schedule around. And opening that communication, one both with both of my bosses, really opened up our relationship and communication because I was honest and I said, "Hey, I'm going to work a second job," and my bosses were like, "Okay, sounds good." Thankfully, I was raised with a good work ethic and I was on time and I did what I was supposed to do and then some. And so my bosses, after a while, learned that they could count on me, and all of that was established because I built a communication where I was open and honest from the very beginning. And that really set me up to be open and honest with future employers and bosses. It also gave me work experience pretty early on in my life. I was about 16, 15 when I started working two jobs. And so I was able to have 3 years of experience to have an entry level position when I turned 18 out of high school. That's a joke. But it just showed me what it meant to be relied on because up to that point I'd been very independent and I had never really had people rely on me before. But once I started working and I was, helping to cover people's shifts and they were helping to cover mine in the event that I had something come up, it just showed me, that I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. Obviously being alone is something that I enjoy, but it's not something that I want to be socially isolated from everybody in the world. I think that's not good. It also showed me how to meet deadlines and set expectations for myself with quarterly and bi-monthly reviews. So that was good. It also helped me and my family during COVID. I had some cash coming in. My parents had work reduced, and so we were able to make it work. And I was able to buy my things that I needed and not ask my parents for money. And I was able to help them out if they needed anything. And it was just during a very crazy time just in the world, and why we weren't investing into real estate investment and Bitcoin and all that stuff, I'll never know. I guess I just missed the curve on the real estate bubble, but it is what it is. And yeah, it also gave me a pretty steady cash flow. Like I said, I was able to do things that I wanted to do. I was able to pay for car insurance, and help my parents out with my car and stuff like that. So that was really nice. Um, it also gave me structure for my time as well. Having graduated a semester early, it kept me from just being inside all day playing video games or doing who knows what else, and just gave me a purpose. I couldn't stay up late until 3 a.m. I couldn't, stay out late. I couldn't be up late. I couldn't do all the things that I was doing in high school because I had to go to work the next day. And so that really changed the way that I saw how I operate and how I do activities. It also gave me the ability to meet people that I wouldn't have met otherwise, that I still am in contact to with this day, even though I've moved. Um, I was able to meet people outside of school that gave me a lot of different perspectives on life, and it helped show me that not everything, is set in stone right now. And that was one of the big things: is not everything is permanent. It's okay to be climbing the ladder, so to say. And that was really the most important thing it showed me. Is it showed me, some of the things that I didn't want in my own life. And I was able to say, I respect that, people have to do this and work jobs and do, things to help support their family. But I realized that that's not what I wanted. So it made me step up mentally and say, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to do something. I want to be somebody and help people. And so that was ultimately the biggest thing that it showed me. And that was some of the things I don't think I would have been able to learn in high school or really anywhere else. I had friends that worked, but none of them were working two jobs. Not that it's a competition, but when you're working, 10 hours, 18 hours a week, and I'm doing 40, that's not as, I don't know. I don't want to gloat, so I'm not going to gloat, even though I just gloated, but it is what it is. I don't like to edit these a whole lot. I've been refilming this section like a million times, but I don't want to go in and edit this a whole lot just because I want it to feel natural and normal. Um, hop on the bandwagon of Call of Duty commentators. So that's kind of what this video was. And that's essentially all this channel is just me yapping about anything and everything and just kind of having a place to put all my thoughts. I'm not good at journaling. I'm not good at, doing that, but this is fun. And so, yeah, what's the worst that can happen with it? I blow up and make $1 million, like, okay, I guess I'll do that. So, anyway, so that was just Whitey Apps. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe. If you watched this far, I appreciate it. To the few people that would actually watch this. So I hope that everything is going well for you guys, and I will see you on the next one. All right, Whitey Apps out.